So I'm literally at the airport, just about to go on holiday. At the boarding gate, my phone rings. It's one of my colleagues ringing me up saying, "Do you remember that Audi we sold just a few weeks ago? It's just caught fire." Right, before we start today's pitch update video, 24 hours notice, guys. You've got less than 24 hours to go until the conclusion of the Ford Focus ST raffle. Behind me there, you can see our stunning example of a Ford Focus ST2, a completely unmolested example that I have picked up and had minted up for you. Arguably in the best colour, with fresh powder coated wheels on, all serviced up, all new suspension, drives like an absolute dream and never been messed with. It's a completely original example and it can be yours for just a quid. Yes, £1 could win you this fast Ford. The draw is going to take place tomorrow night. So that's Monday, the 6th of October, 9:30, via our good friends at RAFFLE. And by having just one ticket, you could win this beautiful Ford. And also remember as well, if you don't want the car for any reason, then don't worry, there is an alternative cash prize available of £3,000. Now, I have put the bundle offers back on, so you've got less than 24 hours to go. If you want to top up your tickets, or you're new to the raffle, you want to get involved, there's bundle offers there. So you just want to buy one ticket for £1, that's fine. If you want to buy £5 worth, or 10 or 15 or 20 pounds worth in blocks, then you get additional free tickets. In fact, there's an offer on there now. Buy £20 worth of tickets and you'll get 100 additional free tickets, giving you 120 tickets in the draw, massively increasing your chances of winning that fast Ford. So I'd love you to get involved. You've got less than 24 hours to do so. Always remember as well, we give money to charity on the back of this. Thousands and thousands given away this year from our raffles alone. Our supporting charity this time is Northwest Air Ambulance Service and also Hopes and Beams, a children's charity based here in Crewe that help kids with disabilities getting involved in sports and helping out the families as well and giving them support. They do an amazing job and I'd love you to support them, and you can do that by getting involved in the draw and the chance to win this fantastic fast Ford. So get yourself some tickets today. Even all, welcome back to the Car UK channel, and you join me here at the Car Pitch, where we deal in budget cars under £5,000, the cheap end of the UK used car market. Right, how has the last week been? Well, as you see from the title of this video, we've had a little bit of an incident, to be fair to say, and I'm going to get onto that later on in a bit more detail, because actually the car in question, a car that we sold to a customer 6 weeks ago, which whilst I was on holiday, literally about 20 minutes to board my plane onto my holiday, I got a phone call saying, "Do you know that car we sold 6 weeks ago? The bloke just rang up, it's caught fire." I'm like, what? Honestly, proper put me on nerves for the first 48 hours of my holiday until we got to the bottom of it. And like I said, the car is here now. I'm going to go in detail about later on exactly what has happened. Be transparent about what has gone on as well, because it's not as straightforward as it would first seem. Anyway, like I said, before we get on to that later on, let me do a bit of a pitch update with you very quickly, because whilst I've been away over the last week or so, the lads have done all right, in fairness. They've actually sold quite a few cars. They've got a few cars on sale as well. I actually took a bit of a gamble if you watched my last video, when it was really quiet, and I decided, you know what, whilst we've got a bit more space on the pitch, we doubled down and we actually went on a bit of a buying spree and bought quite a few cars. And you can see them in previous videos from last week where we went to auctions, bought quite a few. Now that policy has started to bear fruits. In fact, we've sold a couple of those cars when we bought last week, which we didn't really need, to be honest with you. We were starting to overstock again, but sod it, we thought we'll double down, because I actually think that we might be in for a little bit of a sales spree, hopefully, over the next few weeks. I think it's coming, because September started really poor. Not just for us, generally for everybody, particularly small dealers you speak to. No one's exactly on fire at the moment. In fact, a lot of people are deciding to pack up. I've been speaking to, think of two this week I know of, who've already decided to throw the towel in after many years. So it's not exactly great at the moment. But that said, we've done reasonably okay for September. We're not flying, we should have done better, but we met target. And if you meet target, we make a small profit, we move on to the next month, you take it. So to start October, with 3 sales under the belt a few days in, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to show you now what we've been up to, what we've been buying, and just generally around the pitch, and then we'll get on to what has gone on with this car that's caught fire. Let's have a look around first. Right, let's talk about what has sold since the last pitch update. Now, I'm sorry if one of these cars crosses over, if I mentioned a car that's previously been sold, but obviously I want to make sure you know what's been going on. So we have sold over the last week or so Golf, which I didn't think would last very long. Right about that one. 2-litre TDI Golf, lasted about 2 days on the pitch. Chap came in, bought it. Young lad's having that one. All the bits have arrived for that now. Bits like, see that bit of plastic up there? The very expensive piece of plastic, which is in there, brand new. 58 quid from Volkswagen. That's arrived. That needs changing. That came yesterday. Get that on, job done. So that is sorted. By the way, I'm sorry if I've not got all the information here for you, and some cars may have sold that I'm not aware of. I've literally just rocked up here. Well, it was 6 hours ago I've come back to the UK, and I've turned up to work, so I'm not in the full picture about what I sold, so I'm going off what I've been told, what's on the board, so there may be some other stuff we'll catch up with in a future update video. But I do know that Peugeot sold, because my colleague rang me yesterday to tell me so. Little 1995er, to be honest with you, didn't think it would last very long, because we don't get many cars under 2 grand, and if we do sell stuff under 2 grand, they've got to be really be old cars, but they've got to be decent examples, because I don't like selling just any old bits of tat or anything. I want a car, even at 1,500 quid or 2 grand, to have a fair few years of life left in it, and that is definitely what this car is. A car that's got plenty of years of life left in it, well looked after, got decent tyres on it, decent brakes, done 90k, it's diesel, it's quite late on, 11, was it 12 plate one? I can't remember, 12 plate, is it 12 or 11? 11 plate, 11 plate 207, very clean car, drives excellent. We picked it up from auction, and you say it drove so well that I thought, sod it, we'll have a go at retailing it, because why not? And yeah, it's worked for us. Sold straight away. I think we've got to put a cam belt on it, which is fine, no problem at all, but that is going to get someone made to be, cheap to run, cheap tax, cheap on fuel, and should last them a fair few years. And that's what it's about. That's what I like doing. I get more satisfaction out of selling a car like that than selling a 5 grand, you know, sort of Corsair or something like that, or whatever. That's what I love about this job, and sadly it's very difficult to get the sort of cheaper end cars on the pitch and sold these days, because sometimes, or most of the time, it's just not viable anymore. But there we are. We've also sold Astra. That never really made it on sale, really. I think someone had seen that in a previous update video, rang up about it and said they wanted it, so my colleague has sold that whilst I was away. That has had a ruck of work done to it. It's had the brake stripped apart. He's just done my mechanic all the usual stuff, housings that usually leak on it. I think it's had all the rocker covers on it, oil coolers on it, coolant bottles on it, all that stuff that usually goes wrong on the 1.6 Astra. Not that they're a bad engine, they're generally quite good, but they do have a few common issues, particularly sort of 10, 12 years of age, so they need sorting, and that's what that one has had done. Drives excellent. Got to get the dent man on it on Tuesday, I think he's down. A few little touch-ups, finish it off, brand the car up. So yeah, pleased they've sold that one. To be honest, that didn't worry me. We sell Astra J's all the time, so that didn't worry me that was going to languish around or anything. They never really do. Mariva, this was from a previous auction video we bought last week, the one we went out and bought about 4 or 5. That sold straight away, no messing around. In fact, it did say it sold straight away. It sold in about 4 days. I was expecting to sell in like 24 hours, but me being the optimist, but it did sell. Loads of interest on it. I say it was a really clean car, tech line as well, so it's got everything on it. 1.4 petrol, flew out the door, and that's a really nice car. It drives excellent, so I'm pleased that's been sold whilst I'm away as well, because that's an easy one to get sorted, because it's just a really nice example. We also sold, which isn't here to show you, remember the Fiat Panda, which we also bought with that Mariva and a few others. That Fiat Panda, 68 plate, very cheap car actually for what it was. I was really impressed with how little we got that for. That sold straight away. Local chap came on, just wants a car, not particularly fussed to be honest with you. He just wanted a car to get from A to B. We were going to have a little bit of paint done on it, on the inner door, and maybe change the trims and stuff like that. He just like, no, just make the car cheaper, I'll have it. I'm not bothered. I just want a car that looks reasonable. I can get 6-7 years out of it. That'll do me, you know, cheap running, all that lark. I mean, for fairness, a 68 plate Panda, there's no reason why that wouldn't be the case. It drove excellent, did a service on it, all ignition system, job done. So that went out yesterday, I believe. We also as well had the Nissan Juke go out this week, the petrol one, the red one, that went out yesterday. The iX35 went out yesterday, and something else, which is, I can't remember. But anyway, I'll do a proper update next week, or later in the week, shall we say, when I've got all the information, because I know there's 1 or 2 cars here that I'm missing as well, or forgotten about. But anyway, we'll come back to that later in the week. In fact, I just spotted one, red 108 over there. Remember that one? It was parked over here, I think, in the last update video. That has sold as well. That is, I assume that's going out next week. And also we've sold, just come back to me, a Corsa, blue Corsa. Remember the one with the white wheels and the white mirrors? Was awful. We had them all painted. That sold as well. Got there in the end. Right, what else have we got in the pipeline we're working on? So, whilst I've been away, I've bought via a friend of mine who sends me little WhatsApps of Part X's, a C1, which I've just bought in, 11 plate. It's a bog standard one, we call them VT models, which I don't like the VT model because it doesn't have central locking on the doors. It's a pain in the arse because everyone expects central locking, but they are Group 1 insurance. It's an iGo Z1, same thing. We sell them all day long, and it's actually, I think it's only done 50,000 miles. So yeah, that is going on sale in the week. I've just got to sort something out that's not central locking. It's got a column motor fault, which is, I wouldn't say that common, but I've seen the odd one go wrong. Just put another column on it, job done, electric steering column. And so that's got to get sorted. My friend also very kindly put a gearbox for a Fiat in there as well. We had a line around and said, "Want to buy a gearbox for a Fiat?" It's like, yes, as it runs and drives all right, we'll have it, because Fiat 500s and Fiat Pandas and Fiat Puntos do suffer with the odd noisy gearbox now and then. I've also had some Minis appear. One of them I'm quite pleased about, the other one not so much. Now the red one, you remember, which was in the corner for ages, that's had a little bit of work done to it. We've had a bit of paint done, so I've had the rear tailgate done, that's been painted. So the bad badges have been removed, but we've got some new badges for it. Got some new clasps coming for it as well. I've got all the strips and that, which everything, we've got all badges, all the strips to replace it. I've got all the stuff for the canvas to clean it all off and shine it all up. We've had the stripes replaced on the front, excuse the leaves that are all over it, because they were all fading horrible, so we've had that done. We've changed the grills on it. Like I said, I've got the new badges for it with a little red piping on it, which looks quite nice. We've had the wheels painted. I was a bit unsure about the wheels. The wheels were painted, but I'm starting to regret the colour choice. I should have really put them black, Billy, but I don't know. But anyway, they've been painted. I'm not changing them. I'm just sticking with how they are now. So we're getting there. It needs cleaning up. It still wants a bit of brightening up. I want to do the plastics on it. We've got to do some mechanicals on it. It's got a steering pipe leak, which is very common on these and the early ones. So I've got to sort that out, and it wants just generally just sort of, you know, servicing and cleaning up, etc. So it's nearly there. Probably I'm going to retail it. Please don't ask me how much yet, because I don't know, because I've not finished with it. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a week or two. But we've got it back. That's the main thing, and we've got everything to fix it up here and make it a nice little car. Minis, in case you're wondering, are a pain in the arse to work on, and they're not great cars to retail, particularly if they're 07 onwards, because they've got the later engines in. In fairness to these are the older engines from 51 to 56 plate. We call them Chrysler. I think they were called Trident or Tritec engines. They were very, very, very good. Early ones had some gearbox issues. 54 onwards, I think they changed the boxes. I can't remember the exact boxes they used, PG1 or something like that, whatever it was. But they changed the boxes, and they were the good ones. They were the best ones, 54 to 56 plate. So if you're ever thinking of buying one of these older Minis, that's the ones you want. They are very, very good. Like I said, the later ones onwards have the Prince engines in, which come in all different variations. Aspirated 1.6s, 2 power bands they had for those, 1.4 as well, and the Cooper S, which is what this one is. And you might remember this from some time ago, because this was a car that I bought. I didn't even buy it. I took it in part exchange against a Vauxhall Astra Tourer I had in, probably way in excess of a year ago. It was a lady's car, chap brought it in on her behalf, they part X'd it, it drove very, very well actually. We sold it. After about a month or so, it decided to shit itself. Had an engine issue, it came in with an oil leak, fixed that, and then it started to have a chain issue, and we never cured it. It's still got a chain issue. We've done numerous things to it, including obviously replacing all the chain and stuff like that, and it's still got this very, very strange rattle, which seems to be intermittent. We've got a theory what we need to do to it now, bit of a strip down to do it. It's been parked up away for the last 9 months, off-site, basically forgotten about, and now it's been brought back here to sort because we've got a bit more room. So I'm going to have to do something with that, because at the moment that owes me a bloody fortune. And it's a shame, because it's a really nice car, and it's really clean, and it had brilliant service history. But it just goes to show, and it's not been thrashed either. It's been owned by a lady who's had it for donkey's years, and she doesn't look like the sort of person to me who's going to be thrashing a car around. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just a typical Mini of that era. They're just a pain to work on. Great cars to drive, but they're like Land Rovers, honestly. They're a love-hate car. You love them, but when they go wrong, you hate the bloody things. We'll come back to that in another video anyway. Briefly, moving on, Corsa, we bought that from the auction as well. That's on site. We bought that last week. 14 plate, last of the Corsa Ds, 1.2 Excite model. This is the one that for some reason someone's pinched the aircon off. Got a few little bits sorted out on the back of it. I've got a bumper protector to come for it. It's got a little bit on the top of the bumper where the loading area is, which I'm going to put over. Nice proper one there. and then we're going to get a little bit of edging done on one of the arches, just start it to go, just tidy it up, that's it. But it drives really well, really well, and it's a clean car, and that will be on sale hopefully the end of the week. Plus it needs a couple of wheels refurbing, as we were aware we did the walk round on it. And also as well, probably, I don't think I will put Apple CarPlay in this. I might leave it as it is. If someone wants to spec it, they can do. But anyway, it's here, 73k. We will sell that easy. That was it. That's what we needed to do. The arch there, didn't we? We looked around, so we're going to get that done as well. But I think we'll get rid of that, to be honest, because I mean, not as popular as the Corsa E's now, mainly because they like the old tablet screens and stuff. But the old Corsas are good sellers. Like them all over them, they're good sellers. Very quickly moving on, because you've probably seen some things, you're wondering why they're here, and might ask me in the comments, but we'll come back to some of these cars in a future update video. I can think of one already in the corner of your eye. You've probably seen them thinking, what have you got there? What's that? What's the story behind that one? We'll come back to that in another video. Range Rover Evoque. We bought this as well from the same sale. This is the 3-door coupe one, 2.2 diesel, early one with a manual gearbox. Remember, this is the one where the it's in the valet intent, so apologies, the strip's missing. We've got one of them ordered. It's inside the car now. It's actually arrived, waiting on another one to turn up, but we've got those on order. Colleagues drove it back, said it drove reasonably well, so I won't go too much into it, because I might end up doing a video on the car, because I did ask you in the last update video, or I think it was the auction video, what we should be doing with it, because the potentially could retail it. Not that it's something that I really would look to retail, or I go about buying to be honest, but I did get it at handy money, and the usual place I would place that car doesn't want it because it's a coupe model and they've already got one. So that means trading it on, which I actually believe, I know I can make money on it just by trading it. That's been established. Or have a go at retailing it. And I'm a little bit sitting on the fence. You guys have given your opinion. It's about 70-30 in favour of retailing it, but I'm going to have a little think on it tonight, come back in the morning, and then from there, when I've gone out for a proper drive in it, I'll make a decision whether or not I want to get involved in it, because we do loads of work on these Evoques for a separate business we run. That's why you always see sort of Land Rovers everywhere here. But we say we do work on them, and we know a bit about them. So I'm umming and ahhing. If you see a video in the week on it, you know what the outcome's going to be. If I trade it on, I'll let you know in the update video. But I'll just want to hang fire on it, because I don't want to open a can of worms. But the upside, in case you're wondering, is huge on a car like that. You've got really good margin in it, and there's a little bit of me thinking, I don't think that's going to cause many issues for us, because it's the right one. It's the 2.2, the early engine. The engines don't worry me. Later ones worry me a little bit, the Ingenium, and that's a slight understatement. But the early ones don't. Them 2.2s are excellent, and it's not an auto box either. It's a manual box, so it's got less to go wrong. They're easy to work on. We'll come back to it. Right, Peugeot 388, bought that literally the day before I went away. I have driven it, drove excellent. It's a 1.6 diesel. I don't buy many Peugeot 388s anymore, so we might do something with that this week. I'm hoping that we can do something with it, because I know it'll sit at a very, very cheap price point, like a £2.5 grand car, and it's a decent family car, and it's not mileage either. I don't think it's got big miles on it, if I remember rightly. How many miles on it? 75,000, yeah. That's the reason why. If it'd done 120,000, well, it'd been a lot cheaper, obviously, as well, but we'd have a different conversation. But that's the sort of thing that if you can sell, we'll go out the door like that, because it's just a cheap family bus for somebody. So we'll let you know on that one in a future update video. Well, later in the week I'll do another update video. And finally, before we crack on, Corsa, I shan't go too much into that. I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow. I bought it for a specific sort of challenge to myself, if you like. A little bit interesting. We are going to try and sell that, but bear with me on it, because there is a sort of theory behind it, and it's just really interesting to do something a little bit different, a bit of different content for the channel. Right, so what has exactly happened with customer's car? So basically, about 6 or 7 weeks ago, but certainly in the last 2 months, we sold a Audi. Now this was an Audi A3 convertible, and those of you who watch the channel regular will probably remember the car, because it's not really something that I would sell, or certainly wouldn't go to an auction and buy one. Not because they're particularly a bad car. It was a 2-litre diesel, Volkswagen, manual. There's not really much risk to one of those. They're quite a well-built vehicle. It's just not something that I would usually buy, a convertible Audi. However, actually a subscriber came in and sold me the car, and he'd had it for many, many years. He'd had things done on it, like a cam belt recently, lots of good service history on it. It looked a good car, it drove well, it was a decent little thing, and I thought, you know what, because I've had the ability to go and test drive it, and it's a nice smart thing, and the guy's been really honest with me on it, I thought, sod it, we'll have a go at it. So we got the car in the air, got it all serviced, put a ruck of new tyres on it, some brakes on it, checked it all over, even went home in it as well, and it drove spot on, put it on sale, and it sold pretty much instantly. In fact, the phone went off the hook for it. We could have sold it 20 times over. It was a real easy car to sell. And we even took a part exchange on it, which was a Nissan Juke, which was, well, still with us, so that explains everything you need to know about the part exchange. Wasn't the best. But nonetheless, deal done, car sold. Now, everything's going great until I get a phone call last Saturday. I'm literally at the boarding gate of my flight, about to go on holiday, and one of my colleagues rings me up saying, we've had a phone call, it's not great news. The person that bought the Audi, basically their fathers rang up, who dealt with the deal originally on their behalf, has rang up and said, the car's caught fire, the fire brigade are there now, putting the fire out. What are you going to do about it? Can I claim under my warranty? Which is something that is really concerning, you don't want to hear at the best of times, that something's happened to a customer's car, particularly when you're about to leave the country and going to be unable to try and help or assist or get to the bottom of what exactly has gone on. So I've now got on my flight, I've got to the other end, I'm speaking to my colleagues here, I'm saying, look, what has gone on here? And to be fair, the chap we're dealing with has not been particularly clear about what has been going on, and we're sort of getting it third hand. So i.e. I'm getting it from my colleague, he's speaking to him, he's speaking to his daughter. So we've got a chain of events. It's just very difficult to establish what on earth has happened to this car. And all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, well, I've got to look at it from my perspective. Have we done something wrong? Have we, has a part been fitted wrong? Or have we missed something? Is it our fault? Those thoughts do go through your head. We're also thinking about other things as well. What type of fire is it? Is it been a fuel line that's gone up or something like that? Or the fuel's escaped? Or is it electrical fire? Then I'm panicking thinking, well, we put Apple CarPlay in it. Has that gone wrong? Is it some cheap electrical appliance that's gone up? You just honestly, you don't know what to do. You're thinking, I'm stuck here, 2,000 miles away, unable to help and assist, and I'm not getting the correct information about what has gone on. All I know is that the car has apparently caught fire, and the fire brigade have been called, and they're dealing with it. So my colleagues are basically saying to me, what can we do? Because the chap is on the phone. He's basically saying, we're going to bring the car to you when the finish of it. What are you going to do about it? Sort it. And I think to myself, well, if this car is caught fire, if this is the burning wreck, what on earth can we do? There's nothing we can do. And he's insistent that, no, this is a warranty issue, you should be fixing it. I think, well, I can't fix a burning wreck of a car, you know what I mean? It's just not possible. So I did the only thing I could do was say, look, if you're telling me the car has caught fire and it's completely burnt out or it's got fire damage, we can't do anything about it. It's not us being unhelpful. What can we do? At the end of the day, you're going to have to speak to your insurers. And look, if they come back and establish that something we've done wrong, we'll have to deal with it. If I'm at fault, I'm going to have to take that on the chin financially. It's one of those things. Or it might not be. It might be something completely different. We need to establish what has happened. So you're going to have to speak to your insurers. And the guy's adamant. No, my child's not going for the insurers. They're not claiming off there. We're bringing it to you. You need to come pick it up. I'm just like, this is just silly. Honestly, this is just daft. So in the end, I said, look, well, this is our position. You're going to have to go speak to your insurers. Leave it at that. So it wasn't a great end to the day. I went to bed that night with 20,000 things in my head thinking, this is not what I needed on the first day of my holiday. You can't relax. But things are going over in my head again thinking, something doesn't quite add up here. It really doesn't add up. So the next morning, I've spoken to my colleague and said, look, we need to get this chap back on the phone. You need to stop messing around, get the correct information, and get hold of him and tell him exactly what has happened in the event and where is the car now, and a picture of it or something like that. Because all we're getting is basically sound bites saying, the car's caught fire, fire brigade are there, you need to pick it up. That's literally all we're getting the information out of him. And eventually, we get to the bottom of it. And the car is in the workshop now, and I'm going to show you this smouldering wreck. Here it is, the Audi A3 in question, the one that caught fire. Or did it catch fire? Well, it turns out it didn't catch fire. What has actually happened is that the lady has seen smoke under the bonnet, she's panicked, she's called the fire brigade, who've been out, established that there was no fire, and basically recorded it as such, and put it down to a potential mechanical issue. And that is exactly what has happened. So as you can see, not quite burnt out as we were first told. However, there is one item that is burnt out, which is the clutch, which is, as you can see here, completely destroyed. And it's also completely burnt out all the flywheel, scarred it. And also, as well, so bad that it's even, you can quite see it not, completely scarred and damaged. I think I've got some pictures of it on my phone I'll put on for you. or the gearbox. So that's basically what's happened. It's had a clutch failure, which has also not only destroyed the gearbox, but also the flywheel as well. So absolute stress for the first sort of 24, 48 hours of my holiday, whilst I was away trying to deal with basically a clutch failure on a car that, because other people have sort of been given one information and someone's misinterpreted it and then talked to my colleague, it's just turned into a disaster. Trying to get established with the true facts of what's happened. If we just rang up and said, we've got smoke under the bonnet, she's panicked, the fire brigade have been out, they said there's no fire, they recorded it as such, the car still starts up and moves, can you come and have a look at it? This would have been really straightforward. But sadly, those key details were a bit lacking, which is where having correct information is really, really important, because say this could have been dealt with literally within an hour. Within an hour of the report coming in, we could have dealt with this, not basically all weekend lost to having wrong information. So anyway, the car has been picked up, as you can see. It's been stripped down. We found all them problems, obviously, with the gearbox and the clutch all burnt out. Why is it burnt out? Well, there's a couple of theories to that. One, it could have been sticking, could be mechanical failure, it caused it. It could be a riding clutch. It looks, or it's certainly got the signs of a car of a clutch that's been burnt out, like someone's been riding the clutch. Look, you're never going to know. That's the reality. You're never going to know. The customer's had it 6 to 8 weeks. It was fine when it went out. I am very, very keen at doing clutches. Those of you who know and watch the channel a lot know that we don't take any risk with clutches because they are the bane of our lives. And even the ones that we think are all right and go out still sometimes come back and bite us. Here's an example. This drove excellent, excellent. It gave no indication whatsoever they had a clutch issue. It was even remotely high, noises, anything like that. We don't chance it. We just do them. We just do them. This one was not on our radar to do. But sadly, for whatever reason, whether it's driver error, whether it was mechanical, we're not quite sure, it's happened. And we could sit there trying to argue with it and saying, look, this is your fault, blah, 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 and it's driver error. I don't think we're going to get anywhere with it. And to be honest with you, I don't want that. I just want it done. I just want it sorted. I just want the customer back on the road as quick as we can. And that's what we're now trying to do. Also as well, actually, just to give some clarity to this, the customer, we obviously give a warranty. We give a 3-month warranty on a car this age, and obviously a mileage allowance of a few thousand miles. They've gone over the mileage allowance as well, so she's done some miles in this car as well. She's gone only about 300 miles over, in fairness, but still a lot of miles done in a very short period of time. And there has to be caps on warranties, obviously. But we're still going to do it. We could turn around and say, look, this is driver error. You've gone over your mileage. But we're still helping, because that is the main thing. And also, there's consumer rights that play into it as well. So you end up having to do something anyway, and I'd rather have it done. It's done, dusted. It doesn't bother me. It's fine. It just becomes part of the job. Every car you sell, inevitably you're going to have a warranty claim at some of it, and you win on others and you lose on some others. It's simple as that. And we just have to just basically suck it up and deal with the outcome of it. And the outcome is going to have to be a new clutch, flywheel, and a gearbox. The main one that's a bit of a hitting the old plums is the gearbox situation. We managed to get a gearbox from a breaker friend of mine who had one in stock. We thought I had the correct one in stock. It turned out actually it's very slightly different because ours has got stop start on, so the starter mode doesn't line up. So that one, which we got very, very cheap as well and come out of a very low mileage car, unfortunately can't go in, which is a shame because that would have been an ideal candidate. So we had to go online. We bought a box now. It's being picked up tomorrow. Got to go to somewhere in Oldham to pick that up from a breakers there. Decent enough box, and they comes with a warranty anyway, so we can put that in for the customer. New clutch and flywheel is somewhere around here. Bolt that in. Probably going to cost me the best part of 500 odd quid, 600 quid maybe in bits, and obviously the time lost in labour, which is more of the killer for us, because you lose probably a couple of days. I mean, that's been on the ramp now for a day, just lingering, waiting for bits. The day obviously to get it apart in between jobs, another day to do it back together. So there you are. That is the car that gave me a sleepless night and day whilst I was away on my holiday for the first sort of 2 days anyway. So there we are, a very stressful beginning of the week, but eventually we got to the bottom of it, and we'd obviously say we got the job in hand and we can get that sorted. And once that's done, we can then focus on other things, like for instance restocking, which we're going to need to be doing over the next week or so, because we've sold quite a few cars. Definitely going to need to get some more stock back in before it dwindles down and we get down to sort of small numbers again. I don't want that. I want to keep the cars flowing in and keep a high number of stuff available on sale. Or at least that is the plan. So auction tomorrow morning, Monday. Going to go through the auctions. Might do a bit of filming for you. I'll see how we go. Definitely got more auctions and planning going to later in the week anyway, so I will definitely film some content for you there. We'll do another pitch update properly in a few days' time going round as well, and hopefully we'll have some new stock in by then. Plus, I can think of at least 2 or 3 more videos that I'm currently working on, car direct content here from the pitch, including that little blue Corsa, which I'm setting myself a challenge on, which I'll do in a few days' time for you. And also plenty of other content I'm going to work on for you. But before I go, if you're new to the channel, do us a favour, or if you've been watching me for a while, you may not even know, can you click the like and subscribe button down below, please? About 70% of you who watch this channel on a regular basis are actually subscribed. So you do me a massive favour. We're not far off the 100,000 subscriber mark. I'd love to get there as soon as possible. Big milestone for me. So if you could do that for me, greatly appreciate it. It means so much to me. It doesn't really help me out financially or anything like that. It just really shows your support. Plus, it means as well that you get my latest content as it lands. So you see more regular videos. So you can click that subscribe button and give the old thumbs up. It does mean a lot. And finally, for the focus, draws me tomorrow night. So that's Monday the 6th of October, 9:30, hosted by RAFFLE. I will post on the Facebook page, the Car UK Facebook page, the winner once that happens. And of course, we'll give the details of the winner as well in the next update video later in the week. And finally as well, don't forget about the draw for the Ford Focus ST. Tomorrow night, it's going to be happening at 9:30. Our good friends at RAFFLE, independent, they host a draw for us. They'll draw that one for you, and the winner, so you'll get notified anyway about your ticket, but the winner will be posted on the Facebook page, the Car UK Facebook page soon after. And of course, later in the week when we do my next update video, I'll give the winner's details there. So good luck to everybody who has got involved with the draw. And if you haven't got those tickets yet and before it closes, get your tickets now. Link is in the description box below, QR code up here or in the comment section. Click there, straight over to RAFFLE, buy tickets, get yourself involved. You might win that fast forward. Right chaps, I'll see you all in the next one.